You know, it's funny because I did my 21-day challenge and I really loved the process because I knew what I would talk about every day. And because I sort of had a story, I love telling stories and I love creating something that tells a story where I'm able to bring you from point A to point B. And this is how I've always done everything within my business. And even when I was working at Nike for 3.5 years, I was always like, putain, I want to bring people onto a journey. So even if it was marketing, even if it was HR, because I was a recruiter before doing digital marketing, I was always like, I want to bring people somewhere, and I want to make sure that I create the space for people to even for them tell me their stories. And I with the 21-day challenge, I had this limit. It was like 21 days and then whatever, we see what happens. 21 days turned into a month because I started the 1st of January and I think I finished the 2nd or the 3rd of February. But anyways, regardless of that, I knew where I was going and I had divided my whole story into different chapters and I really liked it. And at the same time, I felt myself a bit constricted in that, and I changed the story at some point as well. I changed the name of the chapters. I changed things because I was like, c'est pas trop ce que je veux dire. That's not really what I want to say. But I stayed very faithful and very loyal to myself and to the things that I actually wanted to say. I didn't really care whether or not people would understood. I just really wanted to bring people onto a journey. And even if at first it was a bit not stressful, but I put myself some pressure because I was like, I want people to understand. I want people to hear me. I want people to see me. And then along the way, I was also like, well, what's more important? Is it me being understood, being seen, and being heard? Or is it also like by people? Or is it me doing all of this, but for myself and making sure in the process that I don't betray myself, that I don't shrink myself, that I basically stop doing all the things I've always done in my life. So when that happened, I felt even more freedom within the sort of like constriction and structure that I sort of imposed myself to bring you somewhere and to tell a story. Fast forward to now, because I'm still continuing with my journey, but there's a different sort of intention. Right now, I want to be on social media because I want to grow a personal brand. I have no idea yet what it is or what's it going to be, but I'm just trying things. And in the first few days, same thing. I started putting myself a sort of structure with like 2-3 pillars. And I quickly realized that it's putting me too much into boxes, I feel suffocating, and I feel overwhelmed already by my own limitations, So I'm at this stage where now it's been a week, like 8 days since I'm posting consistently every day. And I talk about something different every day, not in the purpose of how many likes, how many comments, does that resonate? Does that bring a value to people? I'm really not in that headspace. So I'm still in that process of I don't want that, but I'm still trying to figure out what it is that I want. And in the middle of all of that, I realize that if I just let myself be in that research process, en fait, posting becomes more enjoyable. Like I'm actually excited and looking forward to have that time during the day where I can just put my camera, talk about something, and then just post it without any sort of goal but to be in that research and development / lab experience and experiment. So I'm experimenting, literally. If you go on my social media, you might be like, what the fuck? Where is she going with all of that? I have no fucking clue. So if you have an idea of where it is that I want to go, please go into my DMs, send me a text and be like, okay. I'm trying to actually find the thread, in French we say fil rouge. And yesterday during our week 9 session with the girls, because I'm still on the Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way, and we're week 8, sorry. And week 8 was all about responsibility. And for me, responsibility is confrontation, honesty, consistency, this idea of like continuity, and this idea of like, I have a fucking chance and opportunity every fucking day to just be responsible for myself, for my thoughts, for my body, for my mind, for how I eat, for what I put in my stomach. And it's like this idea of like nourishment, and of course like responsibilities of, making sure that I don't end up dead on the street, hit by a car or by a bike because I'm in Amsterdam. But the sense of responsibility to be accountable for myself. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do since the beginning of the year, practicing my word of the year, which is integrity, and making sure that I walk the walk. So I had instances during the week where I was like, putain, ça me saoule. I don't even know what to talk about. I don't want to post, Parce que, again, it's a research and development process. It's lab. So one day I'm like, yes, vas-y, go full. And the other day I'm like, putain, I don't really want to be seen. But at the same time, responsibility again, accountability again. I want to make sure that I follow up with my 21-day challenge when it comes to being seen by myself first. And then if people see me fine, making sure that I share my voice and that I carry my voice. In French, we say porter sa voix, which means that, you make sure that you hold yourself, you own yourself. Voilà, c'est ça. You own yourself, you own your voice, you own your thoughts, you own your thought process, you own your difference, you own your uniqueness. That I do that. So this is the second point. And the third point is making sure that I don't betray myself in the process. So all of those three things are really what are driving me at the moment. And I guess that last point is also where I'm allowing myself to be messy, to be messy and to show the messy part as well, whilst I'm figuring out the next steps when it comes to my social media, for example. And I do realize this is an experiment that I can personally carry in my day-to-day life. The messy part of where is it that I actually want to live on this planet? What is it that I actually want to do as I don't want to call career. I don't want to say career. I think I just want to say as a next experience, as a next chapter. How is it that I want to feel in my body? How do I nourish myself, my body, my heart, and how do I basically walk into the world, knowing that I have an amazing chance at being here, being alive, being healthy, being wealthy enough to allow myself that space, and this is where really that responsibility for me is so precious. It's so beautiful because then you are in movement, you act, ça bouge. Everything is in movement. And I guess what I was trying to say with this episode today is that I hope you do realize the chance that you have to actually create your own opportunities. I really, truly believe that. And that holding yourself responsible for the life that you actually want to live is the most precious gift that we can have whilst being here. Because we don't have anything else but that. We literally have a chance every fucking day to experiment again. And I think what I was trying to say as well with this voice is that if we do it maybe with more play, if we do it maybe with more enjoyment, if we really take this life as an experiment, as a set of experiments, as a set of experiences, good, bad, ugly, successful, failed, and whatever, we just live the best life ever. And I think I'm really living my best life ever since I was born because I am experimenting, It's really, right now is really another reminder that we're doing life for the first time. You, me, the rest of the 8 billion people on this planet are doing life for the first time in this physical shape and form, okay? I know some of you are going to be like, yeah, but maybe it's not the first time, like in past lives. Yeah. I do believe in that as well. But in that shape and form, it's like we are doing it for the first time. So we're all like fucking beginners, you know, and even in next journeys or next adventures and everything, we're always fucking beginners. I know I've done all these quests in my life, and I've collected weapons, I've collected experiences and skills and whatever. But for this new chapter, it is still a new sort of like a new life, you know. It's like living lives within a big, beautiful life. And I feel like more and more I'm finding that enjoyment, that excitement to just try to do things. And again, I'm really confident and I have faith that along the way, I will find my threads. I will find my fil rouge. I will find that thing that connects all the dots that are currently happening in my life, you know, without trying to name it too fast, because I think that when I start naming things, this is where shit hits the fan and I'm like, putain, mais où est-ce que je vais? But really just letting it all out there and be like, okay, for now, everything is here. I know it's here. I still don't know how to connect everything. Maybe everything will be connected, maybe not. But I have this huge and beautiful responsibility to find out and to go on this adventure. Et franchement, I couldn't be more excited.